I mean, Borga, I think he's in and out in like 6 months or something. When did you realize, hey, this Borga thing ain't gonna work out?
You know, it wasn't so much. I don't want to say, look, he wasn't the greatest worker in the world. He probably wasn't the greatest talker in the world. When Borga walked down the aisle, and this is a very, very unique quality to have, and very few talent had it, you know. But when Borga walked down the aisle, people were genuinely afraid of him. They looked at him and they saw something behind those eyes that said, I will eat your heart out and spit it down your wife's throat. Didn't care. There was reality in Borga. No matter how great of a, how many check marks or moons or hearts or stars or whatever he gets in his matches, he had a reality about him. And there was genuine believability and genuine fear from the audience that the kid would have his hand on the railing, but as Borga walked by, you could see his dad take his kid's hand off the railing because you just didn't know what to expect with this guy.
I see.
He had a believability and a fearfulness to him that is an intangible. That's an intangible. People didn't come running up to the Sheik, the Ed Farhat version of the Sheik. They didn't come running up to him and pat him on the back on his way to the ring. They didn't come ask for his autograph. They looked at him and they got as far away from him as they possibly could because they believed he was crazy and they believed everything that they saw about him. Same thing with Borga here. And I think that was, why he was given that. But the reason, for him only lasting 6 months, he was an asshole.
I mean, I think he lasted longer than that, but it doesn't feel like after he beat Tatanka, he's not there much longer. It might be.
He was an asshole. I mean, he really was. He was not a good human being. They're really, you can't, other than you've got a striking look and a unique quality of scaring people. Other than that, there's not a lot of nice things to say about the human being, Tony Halm. Just not real. He's not. I don't think Tony's with us anymore. But he's just not a good person.
Do I have it right? He was, I mean, the rumor and innuendo is that he was, well, I don't know how to say it. He was a white supremacist.
I guess. I really don't. I don't know. I know he had SS tattoos and swastika tattoo.
Yeah,
that again, that's what I say. Once certain things were discovered, it was like, wait a minute, whoa, hey, hang on, no,
yeah,
you got to draw the line somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one thing to, again, different era, different time, different place, where that was acceptable and that was good heat.
Really?
As a character.
Right.
No, I'm not saying have Adolf Hitler up there and have him cut a promo. No, never. I'm saying that to portray someone as a Nazi character, but to actually be that
is different.
Yeah. It's just completely different. And once discovered, it was like, wait a minute, and got some half answers that didn't really necessarily meet the mark of saying, all right, we'll overlook this and we'll address it this way. It was, you know what? Don't think we want you working with us.
Hey, let me ask you something. I was in my group chat with my friends the other day, and we were talking about the movie The Iron Claw, and the subject came up about Fritz Von Erich. And I know you grew up in Texas and watching wrestling, so you know more details on this than we would. But how did Fritz Von Erich go from being a Nazi character to like really beloved? Like what happened? What was that transition like to make that happen?
He bought out the promoter.
Oh, it was just that.
I mean, pretty much that's it. I mean, I don't know if he bought him out or stole him out, or I don't know what that transaction really was. I've heard both different versions. One that, Fritz went in and made himself was the booker and made himself the star and made it so that if I leave, this territory dies. I've also heard that he paid for it and what have you. But Fritz took himself and Fritz booked himself from one of the top heels to, the guy that Babyface. It was the Johnny Valentine. I always call it the Johnny Valentine turn because as a kid, to me, there was no one nastier than Johnny Valentine. There's no one tougher than Johnny Valentine. And he was mean and he was nasty and he was believable, and everything that he did, you detested. But when he turned babyface, because Wahoo McDaniel said, there's one guy I can that I can trust, hates them more than they hate me. That's Johnny Valentine. And there's one guy that I know is tough enough to kick their ass and even the score. And Johnny had that believability, and Johnny sold his every time he turned, he sold the turns so well. Because it would take you would take a 1 minute walk to the ring. And Johnny Valentine could take that 1 minute walk and turn it into a 15-minute frenzy. And Johnny set the pace. He would take a step and he would look, and the audience would get louder. And he would look all around. He would take another step, and then he would look, and oh my God, it got louder and louder every second. And I'm not kidding you. He could take a 1 minute entrance, turn it into a 15, 20-minute entrance. And by the time he hit the ring and got on the ring apron and truly acknowledged the ovation, there was nothing else like it, man. He was just an absolute master at that. And that was, it's an art form. It's just an art form. He didn't rush. Everything he did meant something. If he went to start to take his robe off, they came even louder. So it's just it's a different way.